My name is Jcking.
And I'm gothgoomba.
And we're got siblings.
That means we're siblings without the blood.
And welcome to From Womb to the Tomb Comedy Podcast, where we will be discussing a range of topics from whatever we want
to whatever we want. And remember that this is all comedy, nothing personal.
And now, enjoy the show. Welcome!
Episode 3!
That's right. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen,
Yes,
from
yes,
Womb
yes.
to the Womb Comedy Podcast. Well, my name is Jcking.
And I'm gothgoomba.
That's right. And we are two heavily Americanized Puerto Ricans that decided to move back to Puerto Rico.
Third culture kids.
And we are here ready to tell our story.
Our story from our humble origins. If you're joining us now, congratulations. You get to listen to us.
Congratulations.
Your day just got better.
It just got 1,000%
1 billion% better, let me tell you.
Listen, we already have our fans. We have
a
people
fan
writing
base?
us. People writing us. Guess what? Our Instagram, we are at 62 followers.
62 humble
But
origins.
I suspect that by the time that this episode airs, we're going to be at 500.
500. We manifest that. We welcome that 100%. Bring it on. I suspected a big suspicion.
Listen, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas
Merry
to you.
Christmas.
And let me tell you, this year it's going to be such a better Christmas because last year, in Puerto Rico especialmente, because last year we did not have a very good Christmas. We did not. The Black Friday was not that good. The gifts were not that good, and we couldn't get together because of coronavirus.
The coronavirus.
Listen,
do you remember during the pandemic that you had to make appointments to go to Best Buy?
I do remember that was a night. I like to walk into a store like a good American and be able to do my purchases. I do not believe that I know what time I will want to go to Best Buy. That is not something I schedule in my agenda.
Because going to Best Buy is like going to, the grocery store.
The grocery store.
Or, like a Disney park.
Disney park.
It's entertainment for us Puerto Ricans. We're saying like, hey, I'm bored. What do you want to do?
We're bored. Let's go look at stuff we can't afford at Best Buy. That's like a tradition. Isn't that right?
And
Can we
daydream.
The audience says yes.
Best Buy. The audience says yes. That's right. Well, yeah, this Christmas is gonna be more exciting, more fervent than ever.
I sure hope so.
Because listen, but we gotta be careful. Because there is a new COVID strain. New COVID strain called Omicron. Omicron, if I am saying it correctly.
Omicron.
Sounds like a freaking transformer.
Yes.
So I think.
But what's going on with that? Can you shed a little light for those of us who don't keep up with the news ever?
You don't read the news, don't you?
I do not. No, I don't. For what?
It's okay.
It's
I read the news, so I am the one who comes and brings the news here to our comedy podcast. Listen, okay, so the Dr. Anthony Fauci announced yesterday, I believe, or 2 days ago, that South Africa, there's this new strain of COVID called Omicron. So you remember that we started with Delta? Well, we got the Alpha and then the Gamma and then Delta. And now we have Omicron. And Omicron is highly contagious, highly terrible. And they are stopping now all the travel, all the travel restrictions are coming back. They are locking the borders to people from South Africa.
No.
But what they are saying is that this COVID strain is now all around Europe. And at some point, we opened our borders to Europeans a few days ago, and
is it already too late?
I think it's already too late.
Infiltrated.
I mean, it's already in Canada.
It's in Canada? Oh, it's already here for sure.
You know that New Yorkers like to cross the border to Niagara Falls to go to the
and
Walmart.
Vice versa. People just love crossing borders.
They say that they like to go to the Walmart in Canada because people are nicer.
I believe it. People in New York are total. No offense to our New York audience, but y'all are total. We love New Yorkers.
We love New Yorkers.
We
the
just
Eiffel
don't
Tower.
love the attitude.
What am I saying? Not the Eiffel Tower. We're talking about Times Square. We are talking about Broadway. We are talking about all of the beautiful things that make New York. But listen, let's not be scared. I am already set for my third booster shot.
Your third booster shot. Wow.
I'm getting ready to get
super
boosted.
duper immune.
Listen, I have to be immune. I like to go to la placita.
La placita. Tú estás perreando en la placita.
I twerk.
JC!
Listen,
JC?
but my current job at La Bacardi requires me to twerk for people.
Espérate. We're gonna start a new segment called "Is Jacob Still Working There?" Every episode, we will be updating you on Jacob's employment status.
Every week, we will be updating you with if I am still working there or not. So,
actually, I think you have some news for us, don't you?
That's right. On my way here to record episode 3 of Womb to Womb podcast, I quit one of my jobs. I quit Flavors of San Juan.
Oh!
That's
congratulations!
Right. That's
Congratulations! Right. You're free. And where are you now?
I am at full time at Casa Bacardi.
Casa Bacardi, and you've been getting a lot of positive reviews, haven't you? What are some of your favorite reviews that people have said about you?
I mean, just people saying that I'm energetic and that I'm just pretty fierce and that I have a great twerking ass. So it's pretty nice. It's very nice.
Do you think Bacardi will supply you with a Bacardi G-string for your tours?
They already did.
We are Team Casa Bacardi.
They already
here.
did. As soon as I went to the employment office and signed my contract, they said, "We see that ass of yours. Here is this G-string. Okay.
Here's a G-string. Show them at the mixer how to really mix it up."
But listen, sister, I missed you so much for the past
you.
few weeks. So tell me and tell our audience, what have you been up to for the past week? Since we recorded our last podcast.
Yes, since our last podcast, I had 2 events for one of my companies, Queen's Crew. And last night, I actually went to a Tim Burton-themed baby shower. And I got to go all dressed up for our girl, Natalie.
This is Halloween. This is
Así
Halloween.
mismo, mira la camisa, se parece. Se parece a esta Sally, Sally.
Sally! Sally! You remember that old man? Who say Sally!
Se parece el viejo de la esquina.
The one who sells the corn nuts.
The corn nuts!
That's right.
Let me tell you, I have been having a panic attack. Jacob, I need to tell you, we need to interrupt the moment. The Chick-fil-A is opening soon here in January.
No.
Pero I don't know if they're going to serve sweet tea or not.
I don't think they will.
I think it would be a crime against Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A, listen up. Listen the fuck up. You better have sweet tea in Puerto Rico. That is a staple item on your menu. It is a southern delight. And McDonald's doesn't serve the sweet tea here. And the sweet tea que tienen in Walmart is terrible.
Terrible.
I miss my McDonald's sweet tea that tasted like diabetes.
But what I wanted to ask you was, okay, so you know that these fast foods are going to bring whatever the culture likes. So if we are not going to have sweet tea, what are we going to have in replace of sweet tea? Gasolina. Bacardi, that's right.
You can have a margarita made from the lemonade.
The Chick-fil-A bar. Because
the Chick-fil-A
if
bar.
an establishment doesn't have a bar here in Puerto Rico, then you might as well close down.
You know that
even Walgreens has alcohol.
The Taco Bell.
Taco Bell
here has drive-through. You can get una medalla in the drive-through.
That's right.
We are living in future times right now.
Future times.
You know, you're on the way to the party.
That's right.
Go to they have margaritas too.
Well, let me tell you how my week was. I know
Tell me about your week.
Interested.
Tell me about your week.
Well, I went to see that new film, House of Gucci, with Lady Gaga.
Tell me about it. What is your review?
My review for House of Gucci was a solid 8.5.
8.5.
8.5, and the reason why I don't give it more is because it was kind of long. It was 2 hours and a half, and I almost fell asleep. But it was very entertaining. It was funny. Lady Gaga did a fantastic job.
Of course,
Mother Monster, you are fantastic, and I think that you're probably gonna get an Oscar nomination. But not only I went to see House of Gucci, I went to see that with some friends, okay, and then I went to see that Encanto Disney movie that Lin-Manuel Miranda wrote the music about it. It was so amazing. It was so beautiful. I cried so many times, and that I went to see by myself because I knew that I was gonna cry by myself, in my emotions, because that's what Disney does. That's
Disney
what
really
Disney
tugs at cuando yo
does.
vi Coco. I was heartbroken. I was like, I can't handle this.
Remember me.
Esa canción, I had it on my playlist. I can't stand it now. But at first, was obsessed.
Do you remember the scene with the grandma at the end?
Ay, yo no puedo, no me digas de
It's
eso.
sadder than
Quiero
Marley
cosas
and Me.
así.
Sadder than Marley and Me.
I couldn't even watch Marley and Me. I couldn't do it. I can't see animals dying. It's sadder than anything.
Marley and Me is, I remember when I went to see it here, it was at Caribbean Cinemas here in Puerto Rico when it came out. And when the movie ended and the lights turned on, even the cacos were crying.
The cacos crying!
The cacos were crying. Like, they were with their baggy pants all the way down. They were all hugging each other and saying, La perra de casa has to stay alive.
Has to stay alive!
Has to stay alive.
Oh
That
my
is
gosh.
correct,
La
ladies.
perra, I hope you're alive. I hope you're doing well.
La perra. How long ago was Marley and Me?
Oh,
My
it must have been like
goodness.
2007.
Wow.
We are older generations.
We
You know
are.
what I think about? Remember when we were teens and we used to look up to I don't know if I can say their names, but youth leaders we used to have, and I used to be like, wow, they're so old, they're so cool.
Mm-hmm.
And now look at us.
Yep. Here we are. Sinful.
Not youth leaders.
Not youth
The
leaders.
next generation.
They wanted us to be youth leaders, but we are the leaders of the next youth
the revolution!
generation. The revolution.
Of the revolution.
And we're going to be leading the revolution right here from our little island in Puerto Rico.
100%. We
100%.
took out Ricky. We took out Ricky. We can take out anyone.
We can do it again. Well, listen. Let's talk about our first boiling conversation.
Let's talk about our boiling
All right.
conversation.
Let's talk about our boiling conversation. So this is, where we're gonna be discussing whatever is boiling out there in the world.
What's hot?
What's
Tell
hot?
me,
No,
tell me.
boiling.
What is boiling? What is boiling?
Remember boiling.
Boiling. Whoopee, I apologize.
No. Okay. So our first conversation, our boiling conversation is gonna be, listen, Stephen Sondheim. Stephen fucking Sondheim.
Stephen Sondheim.
The father of musical theater has passed away, sadly, a few days ago.
Oh my goodness.
And he passed away at the age of 91. But listen, did you ever heard the name Sondheim, you specifically?
I think I had when I was in high school.
Right?
Like
But
a
listen,
band.
one of our very favorite movie musicals was written by him.
Let's see which one. Tell me more.
Into the Woods.
Into the Woods. Oh
we
my
have to go.
goodness.
I hate to leave. I gotta go into the woods to grandmother's house.
Into the woods to grandmother's house.
The day is here. The life is good.
Oh, yes,
I have
yes.
no fear, nor no one should. Okay, well listen. I actually wanna, we.
So you're gonna say the rutabaga.
The beans, the special beans. Oh, Meryl Streep giving us life.
Giving us absolute life.
Yes, very good. Well, listen, Stephen
Is she still
Sondheim,
alive?
he wrote many, many musicals. Meryl Streep?
Yes, is she still alive?
She's still alive and
Okay,
making
I'm glad.
movies. Yeah, they're recording about 3 movies per year. So for the next generation, because as soon as Meryl Streep is dead, we're not gonna have good movies
We're
anymore.
not gonna have any good movies.
Any
Cancel
good
all movies.
Well, listen.
Tell me more.
So he wrote many movie musicals. I mean, not movie musicals, but Broadway. For example,
Broadway.
Sweeney Todd.
Sweeney Todd.
That's right. Remember Sweeney
That is
Todd?
beautiful. Johnny Depp.
That's right. With when they're singing about the pies in London.
The Pies in London.
The Pies in London. So he wrote that, and he wrote actually my very first musical that I was in the United States called West Side Story.
West Side Story.
West Side Story, ladies and gentlemen. West Side Story was it's a musical about a Puerto Rican gang in New York.
A gang.
A gang, okay, and it's about so there's like a Puerto Rican gang called the Sharks, and there are the American gang called the Jets, and they were they hated each other, and they always had ramblas and fighting each other, and then one of the 2 main characters, one is from one of the gangs, and they
Yes.
fall in love for each other, so it's like Romeo and
The
Juliet.
tea.
Yeah, it's like Romeo and Juliet, and then it's like Maria and Tony. But here's what I'm gonna say about West Side Story. I have beef with Steven Sondheim.
We have some beef.
We are
haters of Steven on the podcast. This is an anti-Steven podcast.
No, we are not saying that. We love Steven Sondheim. He wrote great musicals, but he did play us kind of dirty in West Side Story.
He did us filthy.
Listen, he wrote a whole song called America about,
Can you give us a sample, please?
Yeah, let me look it up so I can play you a little bit. But what I'm going to say is that
No. You got to sing it. You got to sing it or else we could get copyrighted.
Oh, that's right.
You got to sing it.
That's right. But I have to look up the lyrics because I don't remember all of it. It's like Steven Sondheim. That's the problem with Steven Sondheim, that he has so many lyrics. It's ridiculous. But listen, what I was going to say is that this song is like Mexican in a way, and like Spanish, like the tones and everything.
You don't think it matches the Puerto Rican identity?
It does not match the Puerto Rican identity, and it kind of like upsets me. It kind of offended me. Like when I was in the United States and we were like rehearsing, I remember going to my musical theater teacher and asking him, hey, like why can't we replace the ole at the end? Ole! Like that's like a Spanish shout,
Yes,
we say in Puerto Rico, huepa. That's
Huepa!
what we say. So I went to my musical theater teacher and I said, how about we replace the ole for a huepa? And he said, no, that's not what Steven Sondheim wanted.
But fuck Steven.
So Steven Sondheim, you should have replaced that, or
you should
do an
replace
update.
that with accurate. So you could have gotten the demographics team out there to get your facts straight.
Yeah, for real. But listen, here's a couple of lyrics from that song. I'm gonna sing it. Here we go. It says, Puerto Rico, my life devotion, let it sink back in the ocean.
Oh, no.
Always the hurricanes blowing, always the population growing, and the I forgot there. Let me see if I got the island Manhattan. I know you do. Smoke on your pipe. And then they start doing like this, whatever they're saying there, and then they start like doing like flamenco stuff.
Flamenco,
like,
that's
where
not Puerto Rican.
When have you seen people dancing flamenco in Puerto Rico?
Una salsita es lo que necesita.
Salsa.
Una salsita.
A salsa, a merengue, or even a reggaeton.
Hasta un perreo.
Listen, from the very beginning, and Steven Sondheim cannot claim ignorance. He cannot. If he's going to write a musical about a specific ethnic group, he has to travel there and study the culture. I think what he did was maybe, I don't know. I just just for comedy purposes.
Just studied New York.
Yeah, he just went to he was just like, he probably met a Puerto Rican girl and was like, I'm gonna write a musical about a Puerto Rican girl. But she probably was a little Mexican too, so she was always eating in Mexican places and saying ole and all of that stuff, and he said, oh, so that's what Puerto Ricans do. He got it all wrong. So Steven Sondheim, we can never forgive you about that.
Never ever.
But thank you for the gift of musical theater.
Absolutely.
That's right. And now we have the best composer in the world. Guess who it is?
Who?
Alive, Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Tío Lin!
Who, by the way,
Tío Lin.
corrected the Puerto Ricans in musicals by writing In the Heights. That's more Puerto Rican. It has merengue, it has salsa, it has bachata.
It has everything.
Like, that is what we like to do in the Heights.
So 100% what we like here.
Thank you.
Aquí una salsita, donde quiera que tú vayas, vas a encontrar una salsita. Un salsero. I learned the other day what a salsero is. It's just a man who likes salsa and women.
There was a movie when I was growing up here in Puerto Rico that was made here in Puerto Rico, and it was about cacos versus salseros. It was like in the 80s.
What?
Yes, I remember.
Cacos versus
I went
salseros.
to see it. Cacos versus salseros. Like they were like in high school in the 80s, and they had like boom boxes, and they would like have like gang fights in school, saying like, oh, the cacos are the best ones. No, the salseros are the best ones. Oh, it was an entertaining movie. I don't remember what it was called.
What the heck is going on?
Maybe I'll find it over here.
Yeah, you're gonna have to show me some evidence of this, because I definitely need to watch that before the next cast.
So how about we talk about the next boiling conversation?
Tell me, what's our next boiling conversation?
And you're actually gonna talk to us about it.
Oh, get ready. This is gonna be hella controversial. So I'm gonna need you to strap your fucking boots on.
I'm strapped.
Listen up. We're gonna talk about the Travis Scott conspiracy. So Travis Scott, as you may have heard a couple weeks ago, Astroworld happened and 10 people or 11 people lost their lives.
Ooh.
So that's pretty bad because he happens to be the baby daddy of Kylie Jenner, who is the youngest of the Kardashian clan. You know, she has her whole makeup by Kylie, lips by Kylie, her whole, she has a whole brand. Mm-hmm. And, oh my goodness, this is where it gets juicy. So, we know that Kris Jenner loves to cover everything up. She loves to cover, because she cares about, the Kardashians are the forefront of fashion. Mm-hmm. They're the forefront of pop culture. Everywhere you go, everyone knows who Kim Kardashian is.
That's right.
Whether you like it or not, you know about her. And you see her and her sisters everywhere, and they capitalize. Like the Met Gala, that's where actors go. And Kim Kardashian's showing up. You know what I mean? Like, she gets into places that people don't go. Like, she is the OG influencer. So then we go, and we know that Kris is gonna try to cover this up. And
but
let
cover
me tell you,
what
let
up?
me tell
you
what
haven't
happened.
told me what happened.
So at the Travis Scott show is getting sued because they were saying that he did it on purpose. Because what happened was that the crowds were there were so many people and security wasn't protecting people, and 10 people died because they were trampled to death. Like, they were run over, and they were, like, he wouldn't stop the show. That was the whole thing, that he wouldn't stop the show even after being told that people were dying.
Wait, so he kept going?
He kept going!
He kept going? He thought that everybody was just going crazy?
Yeah, he was like, oh, everyone's having a great time, but everyone was screaming, like, stop the show! And then, like, people went to tell staff members, like, hey, people are passing out, people are dying, and they didn't stop the show. They just continued the show.
So only 10 people died? That
10 people died, but more than 100
people...
More than 100 people were injured. Wow. But what I'm saying, they were saying that it was like a satanic ritual. That's the whole situation, and it happened to be on Kris Jenner's birthday. I also want to point that out. The mom, who is, like, looking super young, even though she's, like, 1,000,000 years old. No hate to Kris. I love you, Kris. Don't cancel me.
We're not gonna cancel her. We're not. So
here's the whole situation. So I've been thinking. I was like, what are they gonna do to cover this up? What are they gonna do to cover up the fact that he's getting a bunch of lawsuits? Like, he's getting sued by a bunch of people. The venue's being sued. Travis Scott is being sued. Also, his apology was shit. So it's like, how are they gonna cover this up? Because they have a new show on Hulu coming out. A new show.
And Hulu.
Mm-hmm.
Who watches Hulu anyways?
A lot of people. Let me tell you, we are missing out. Yeah. Apparently, in America, people are watching Hulu. Enough for them to get a show. The whole point is, how are they going to switch the narrative, Because they are the narrative. So they did this master plan where they got their daughters, the daughter of Kim Kardashian, Northwest, and Penelope Desick. They have, like, TikToks that they do with their mom, and I can tell you that I spend hours on there. I spend just hours. They do stuff, and the comments are what kills me. There's people telling, like, the kids, they're like, hey, can you tell me your mommy's credit card number?
No.
Oh, yes, it is beautiful. It is like, North, baby, tell me mommy's credit card number.
You can write us to womb2the-tomb-podcast
Northie, Northie, honey, feel free to call in on the podcast. I know you're listening in. North, isn't she like 7 or 8? She's like a child.
Is she? Wow. I always thought that she was like a baby.
No, but the whole thing. No, she has 4 kids.
Oh.
She has 4 kids. The whole thing, the whole situation with this is that this is an excellent distraction because it's so funny. I have to tell you, Kris, you outdid yourself. Hats off to you. I almost completely forgot about the fact that people were sacrificed for you because that TikTok is so fucking funny.
You heard it right here, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it right
conspiracy.
Here. The Kardashian conspiracy.
I also want to talk about, real quick, side note, Kim Kardashian got her BBL reversed.
Her what?
Her Brazilian butt lift was reversed. Like, she used to have a really big ass. It's not that big anymore. If you check it out, her and Khloe. So
cancel the Kardashians. Cancel them.
I think it's so funny that now that it's a trend to get a BBL, now they don't have one, and they want to talk about, oh, we're natural. after they've done all the damage.
How disgusting of them, honestly. So are they gonna, now she's not with Kanye West anymore.
She's not. She's with Pete Davidson.
She's with Pete Davidson.
I can't believe this.
She went white. And a lot of people say that once you go black, you can't go back. But
apparently did. I don't understand it at all. It's a great distraction, let me tell you. I am very invested.
Wait, you think that Kim Kardashian dating Pete Davidson is a distraction?
Oh, 100%! With Astroworld. That's the other scheme. Of course! I am so heavily invested. Pete Davidson is such an icon to the alt community. Like, he is like the it guy. You know what I mean? Him and Machine Gun Kelly are like, eso es lo que queremos. You know what I mean? A tall, malnourished skater boy, that type of thing. Pero now Kim Kardashian, the most beautiful woman in the world, got Pete Davidson? What?
That means that he has a big dick.
We confirmed it. Ariana Grande confirmed it as well.
Really?
Ariana Grande, she said she posted it on the gram, on Twitter.
That's why Ariana Grande is releasing a new song next week called Ouch.
Ow!
I guess that's what
She is married. She is married. I was very sad about their breakup. I have to tell you, I heavily followed that relationship.
But how long did it last? Like a month?
They started dating, I think, in May. They were engaged by July. Jesus. And then they broke up. I was so depressed about that. I loved their relationships. I wanted them to last.
How terrible.
But they would have made a terrible couple, but...
Yeah,
I wanted them to last so bad. I was rooting for you.
The guy... Pete
Davidson.
I mean, he's SNL. He's SNL royalty. I don't find him that funny, honestly.
I think he is one of the funniest people.
Really?
I think he's so funny because he's so relatable about mental health, and I relate to him a lot. So, like, on that level, I just feel like he's telling the type of jokes that I would tell. Like, we would get along well.
So he represents your generation.
Your generation? We're 2 months apart! What is this?
We're 2 months apart.
2 months apart.
Growing up
We're
together
protesting.
from the womb to
the tomb. What is our next stop? I'm wrapping it up. The Kardashian conspiracy.
Guess what we're going to talk about now? Let's talk about our new advice session called Talk to Mama.
So I am Mama. I'm here to give you my advice on what I think about different situations. And Jacob and I are going to talk about these things. JC,
that's right.
JC, tell me more. Okay, we have some mail today, don't we?
We have some mail.
And
guess what? We have gone international.
Across the borders.
Across the oceans. Our Womb to the Tomb podcast has reached the United Kingdom.
The United Kingdom.
Land of the Queen, land of trolls, land of, all of those good things. United Kingdom. Our letter comes from the United Kingdom. It comes from York, United Kingdom. York, but this person,
like the patty.
That's right, but this person has also asked to name to leave him anonymous.
From York.
Anonymous from York, United Kingdom. For all of you that don't know where York is in the north side of I was gonna say London, of the United Kingdom of England, all the way up with lots of sheep and lots of supermarkets. Okay, so are you ready to listen to his dilemma?
Tell me about the dilemma.
Let's give him a name. Let's give him a British name. Peter.
Peter.
Okay,
tell me about Peter from York.
So here we go. I started a new job a month ago, and I am meeting my colleagues from direct team and across the organization. I hit it off with someone and we are chatting a lot. On work chat, on WhatsApp, etc. We have similar senses of humor, and there have been a lot of sexual innuendos, dick jokes, fisting jokes. Is it a bad idea to have that kind of chat with work colleagues? Could it backfire? Also, my boyfriend jokes that I am going to end up having sex with this guy. So this guy has a boyfriend. Peter has a boyfriend.
Peter has a man.
And he arrived at his new job. That he has been there for 1 month, and all of a sudden he met a guy there, and then they have been telling sexual jokes, and they have been doing this and that.
Oh my goodness!
You know, like they talk about jerking off together. So, but Peter also has a boyfriend. So we have two type of questions.
The boyfriend is aware.
The boyfriend is aware. He's saying that they're gonna end up having sex, okay? And he's saying that, yeah, that's pretty much what the email says. Let me see if there's something else that is here juicy.
Tell me all the juicy details, please.
Yeah. So he's asking. He is asking.
What are the questions?
If is it appropriate to have this kind of relationship with your coworkers, just 1 month in, and also is it appropriate to have that kind of relationship with a coworker when you have a boyfriend? So Mama, take it away.
Let's go.
Take it away.
First of all, let's talk about, you should not be having these conversations with coworkers. Let me tell you, a human being will turn on you so quick. When their hide is in trouble, let me tell you, they will turn on you so quick. And you may think, oh, they participated too, but the snitch always gets away. You know what I mean? It's just why put yourself in that situation. I understand that you like this gentleman. You may think, oh, I fancy them. They're nice.
Fancy, that's a British word.
Oh, look at me.
That's a British word. Scones. Tea.
The queen. No, but listen, you don't want to get caught up in that shit. You just can't get caught up in all that. You need to focus on yourself. And if you're okay, the boyfriend knows. That's what I know. So is it an open relationship? Because if the boyfriend's saying,
it's not an open relationship. I know a little bit more details.
A little
bit more insight because I'm actually friends with this person in York, and he was telling me that Peter from York, and Peter says that it's not an open relationship. He actually would get very jealous if they were in an open relationship, but all of a sudden he's saying, hey, but I am, having dick jokes and fist jokes with this coworker.
Yes. But what is your partner saying? Is your partner going to be okay with you guys hooking up? Because if the partner's already making jokes, maybe, I don't know, are they polyamorous? Are they exclusive? What's going on? Porque, if my partner knew that I was having this type of conversation, they would be like, oh, what the fuck is going on? I don't know if it's different in the gay community, but I think that what the fuck is going on? That's an HR situation. We gotta call HR for that. Toby Flanderson. Call Toby.
Toby Flanderson, please.
I don't. What?
Yes.
This is what a world to live in, where you're talking about fisting a coworker. Wow.
Yeah.
A conversation.
1 month in. 1 month in the company.
1 month in. Yeah. No.
We're not gonna do that. Yeah.
Don't do it. Listen.
Remain
your
professional.
Partner, are you serious about your partner? I think they're not serious about their partner if they're having dick jokes with other people, There's a desire for maybe an open relationship. Maybe that talk needs to be had. Because even if the person's going to be jealous, if you're an attractive person, that's something they should just be prepared for, Jealousy situations are going to happen. Don't date a hot person and expect other people not to be attracted. They're hot.
That's
what I mean?
That's right.
That's something that maybe the partner needs to get over. And the fact that they're saying, oh, you guys are going to end, that's not a joke. That's an allegation. That's an accusation. This isn't something small and tedious,
So let me get this straight. Peter says he doesn't want an open relationship, but the boyfriend jokes about maybe having an open relationship. So maybe that should give Peter a sign that his boyfriend wants an open relationship.
I think they should really talk about it. If you're not married and you don't have kids, why not? Mm-hmm. Explore it while.
So what would you do about the jealousy? What would you do about the jealousy part?
Listen, you're just gonna. Are there trees in York? Are there any trees in York?
Many trees.
So I'm gonna need you to cut one down, and then you're gonna build a bridge, and you're gonna get the hell over it. And then we're gonna move on because this is an insecurity that you have. Something that I used to be kind of insecure about in my relationship was getting jealous, but then I thought about this person has decided to be with me. If we're opening up the relationship, this is an add-on. We're still a couple, Open relationships while you're dating are perfectly normal, perfectly fine. You still care about it.
Especially in the gay community.
In the gay community. Oh my, especially every show I've seen, every boy I've met, every gay boy has an open relationship.
They will cheat on you. That's the thing. If you are not careful, they will cheat on you. So do you want them cheating on you? Or do you want them to be honest about who they just fucked?
Open and honest.
I think that if somebody was in an open relationship, like, things would be better, you know? Because we as human beings, we're constantly horny and constantly craving something that, imagine just like eating hamburger every single day.
Oh my goodness.
So for a little once in a while, you're gonna want a turkey burger. You know? So what are you going to do when you want that turkey burger? You're not going to go behind your husband's
You should never. You should be open and honest
and say,
about
honey, today I am going to eat a turkey burger. Okay? But I will make sure that I will take all of the negative tests, you know, all of the STD tests, and they're all going to be negative.
To eat a turkey burger.
To eat a turkey burger. Okay?
As one does.
And I feel like, you know, like, monogamy is dead. Monogamy is dead, so I think that this conversation went off the rails.
Off the rails! A bonus segment.
A bonus section.
But I think monogamy is dead in the gay community.
In the gay community, that's correct.
Let's say it like that because we have many hetero couples who have stayed monogamous. But in the gay community, it's so rare. I remember even some of the girls that we met years ago at Scorpio.
Scorpio from Charlotte.
They're all in open relationships and they have kids, but they're in open relationships, and I'm just like, awesome if this is what you like. But I remember just such a different narrative of what they wanted at first. I wish we need to get someone on the podcast who is in an open relationship.
That's right.
To explain to us how, because this could help our viewers, our listeners.
That's right. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you are in an open relationship currently listening to this podcast, let me know. Send us an email to wombtothetomb@gmail.com or DM us on our Instagram, wombtothetomb and send us your story. How did you end up being in an open relationship?
Please tell us.
Okay, and we can talk about it next week. Okay, because we wanna know everything about open relationship. Has it been working? Were you a jealous person before? How did you deal with your insecurities? Okay,
yeah. Like,
and what about those people who are in thruples?
My
goodness,
how do they make this work? I could never understand.
You know, you're always gonna like somebody more than the other person.
You think so?
Until when are your needs going to be filled? I don't understand.
We do not understand, but we are open to boiling conversations.
That's right. So if you are in a throuple or in an open relationship, please send us mail. Also, if you would like to send us more mail for next week's Talk to Mama, please write us at the Womb to the Tomb podcast@gmail.com. Follow us on Instagram. Hit that subscribe button on YouTube, my friends. Okay, and we are gonna be releasing this on Spotify very, very soon.
Very soon. You can listen in every week on Spotify and on YouTube.
That's right, Spotify and YouTube, because we don't care about Apple.
No.
We don't care about any of those other companies.
We don't deal with that.
And also, we're never gonna be on Facebook. We're never gonna be on Facebook. I have said it. Facebook is an evil company.
Facebook is an evil company.
But Instagram is okay.
Instagram is okay. Being owned by Facebook. Thank you so much to everyone for listening in this week.
That's
Please
right.
send us your comments, your concerns, and what topics we should talk about next time.
That's right. Thank you so much for listening to Womb to the Tomb podcast. Merry Christmas and see you next week.
See you soon.